sucks, man. It sucks. I just want to have quality options. I just want to have quality options. Oh, would you look at that? 30 FPS quality options. Thanks, Twitch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Alright, well, it's the best we're getting. It's the best we're getting. Also, my webcam looks extremely off to the side. Is anybody else feeling the same way? Or is like this a comfortable position for it? Alright. Yeah, I'll adjust it. It's just different than what it's normally at. Do I adjust the physical camera? Or do I just move? Is it a matter of the camera position? If I move it like that, then I've got this edge is clipping. Alright. You didn't know that Moog was Mexican? I knew that. But to be fair, I've also met Moog IRL. So you're slacking here, Hattie. I haven't met you IRL yet. Are you coming stateside sometime? Or am I gonna have to track you down in Canada? Either way, you let me know. We'll figure something out eventually. Hey Matt, welcome back. How are you doing? I wish this had a 2. Like, I don't want to have to go L. Oh, I guess the L1 is a 2 to hit attack. I didn't realize. Alright. I like doing the flying attack with this, it's fun. Coat and Scarf make a journey to Canada past the ice wall. Is this a Game of Thrones reference? Oh, I should have gone for the flying kill. Damn. Missed opportunity. Where do you usually run into this dude? Archives. So when you get through the first part of Archives, as you're coming out, he's one of the trio. He's one in that trio that's waiting for you. Pass the ice wall through the polar bear field, fight through the League of Beavers. League of Beavers? Is that like the Canadian League of Legends? That seems like it would be right. You hate them? I always throw a skull and just run. I only kill them to get their stuff. Universe Sandbox on the Humble Store? Wait, what is Universe Sandbox? That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. White as me? Hey, there's nothing wrong with being as white as me. Okay? I got Italian, German heritage. That's something to be proud of. I'm damn sexy because of it. Not really. I'm a liar. I'm not gonna blame the Italians or the Germans for the way I look. It's just who I am. It's just who I am. Create and destroy on an unimaginable scale with the space simulator that merges real-time gravity, climate, collision, and material interactions to reveal the beauty of our universe and the fragility of our planet. Includes VR support for HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, and Touch, and Windows Mixed Reality. Oh my god. Why does that sound like so much fun? Why does that sound like so much fun? That's one of those things where it's like, I wish I was just a big streamer that, like, by me playing that alone, just hundreds of people would show up to watch me destroy shit. Oh, that sounds like a great time. See your organs behind your skin. Damn, man. Why would it jump? Why would it jump? You're Canadian, Lebanese, Palestinian, English, and Scottish. Your name is Andrew. I don't know. That's like a dead giveaway. Yeah, Andrew is just... It was too easy, man. It's too easy. Gotta! You're watching me. Oh no. That's scary. Can you, like, not watch as intently? Just kind of like a passive thing? You know? Is the Canela Pal Eng Scott go-to? I know, it's just like the most common name in all of those ethnicities. It was just, you gotta give me something more difficult. Also, I'm doing well, Gata. Thank you for asking. How about yourself? That's amazing, Senor. I'm gonna have to look that up because that sounds really fun. That sounds really, really fun. Alright, so I could have gone to Vort first and then over here, but I think I'm just gonna go... Oh, well, that's fun. Wow. That'll work. I think we're just gonna go here first. Because I have faith in killing Dancer. I'm not a scrub. We did so level 1 new game plus 7. I should never die to anything, right? That's how that works. Right? That means we're basically invincible. This game is just too easy. This game is just too easy. I really do need to buy the remaster and set up enemy and item randomizer. I should do that for later this week. Hey Raymond, how are you? Okay, we're gonna go early exit. It's fine. Oh, wait, is there built-in bleed? I didn't realize that. Haha. Wait, there's built-in bleed with these weapons? Hell yeah. Oh, I should be throwing Carthus Rouge on top of this. I should be throwing Carthus Rouge on top of this. That's a missed opportunity. Oh, I am so bleeding. I am so bleeding, Osiris. I am so bleeding, Osiris. That's not even a question. Imagine if there was some sort of ring though that like boosted your bleed potential. That'd be fantastic. Gata is mystical and has... Wait. Is mystical and a hair... Oh, and a hair magical. I was reading that like a Hattie said. I was like, did you typo something about magical hair? Gonna be around for Prime Raid? Well, I mean, we're going to be streaming. Right? Because it's gonna be at 10. If the person's still going, I can try and host them up afterwards and drop the sub then. So if you just want to keep me posted. And if anybody here is interested in that. So basically, at the start of every month, Cheese Whiz and a group of people do what's called a Prime Raid. So if you have a Prime sub, if you don't have a Prime sub, that's fine too. You can just use a regular sub. But we go, basically, we decide on a channel to raid, and instead of like, normally where you would just like host and raid, nobody says anything, and then everybody just subs simultaneously. So if you would like to be a part of that, we will try and host the people up afterwards if you want to go then, or if you would like further information on it and, you know, joining that Discord and being a part of it when it happens, speak to Senor. He can, hook you up with some more details. Didn't know how long I planned on going for, if I was going to bed early with the visit. No. She is off tomorrow night. So, she was also off early today, so we were able to have dinner together and such. But tomorrow night will be off. I'll be hanging out with her, and then be streaming the rest of the week. A physical ability to never change. Okay, to be fair, Moog, like, it's not... If I didn't run track for, like, 10 years, I don't know that my body would have the metabolism it does. Right? Like, I think... I truly believe that that's a part of it. It's a contributing factor. You wish you weren't a nerd? Yeah, I wish I could say that, but I'm a software engineer, and I play video games in my free time. I am through and through a nerd by definition. I am through and through a nerd by definition. I can't really get around that. I'm like 23, I'm gonna change. Oh yeah, no, I am thoroughly enjoying and making use of the metabolism while it lasts. Every day, basically, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting to be fat. I'm waiting to be fat. One day, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna be a sad boy, and I'm gonna have to start working out again. But in the meantime, maximize my time of day, not having to work out. Although I really should do something. But on the other hand, too, like, I also don't, like, eat super poorly. So that does help. That does help. Work out in my sleep? Not. Welcome back. That is a brilliant idea. You should patent that idea. That way, every time somebody does that, they gotta pay you to work out in their sleep. It's like a gym membership. Skillies, what's up? How are you doing? I don't like you. Osiris.
Come out. Don't be afraid.
Oh, I thought I could... That's the thing, I always think that you can, I don't know, step into that. Now? So have I gotten a bleed proc off? Or nah? Too expensive? Damn. I should be, if all goes according to plan. Now I have, oh god. I haven't talked, like, we haven't officially planned it yet, but if all goes well, I should be making a trip back to Canada in February. I was so ready for that. Okay, okay, Osiris. I see your game. I don't like it, but yeah, if things go like last year, I will be heading back up to Canada in February to hang out with Cheese Whiz and Squilla and Lucar, if they can all go, as well as maybe some other people. Would be fun. Enduritize, welcome back. Blackhand Kamui. This isn't DS1 though. Couldn't possibly be Kamui. If we could recreate this character in DS1, then surely we would have a Blackhand Kamui build. You accidentally blew up the Earth. Senor, can you please send me a link to this? This game sounds absolutely amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. I want it. I want it so badly. So, like, what kind of things can you do with it? Clearly you can blow up the Earth, but, like, what other things can you do with it? Skillies, thank you for that follow. Very much appreciate it. Beats, welcome back. What game am I talking about? So, Senor got some, it's called, like, Universe Simulator or something like that. Or, no, Sandbox Universe. That's what it is, Sandbox Universe. Like, Yeah, I don't know, you can manipulate the universe and apparently blow planets up. It just sounds like nothing could possibly go wrong. I don't know, it just sounds really fun to me. Just sounds really, really fun. Alright. Gundir. What have you? I am not locked on for some reason. I don't know why, but... Also, I'm going for L1s, but I feel like that's not a good idea considering the amount of time that L1s take, since it's a double hit. Sometimes you can get the hitbox underneath that. Okay, now we're just being aggressive. I might be able to get away with that. No kick to the face, huh? Charge. I think the rolling L1 is faster than the regular one. Which I think is why we're able to get away with that. I'm actually surprised I'm able to walk around that punch. I can walk around that one. At least the second one. Rip. Okay. Yeah, you gotta have like a head start on that, I guess. And if you're not directly into his body, then you're gonna miss that attack. But I mean, that's kind of how it's always been, huh? Alright. Not really sure what's going on here. Yeah, that's the... You can space out his punch if you do it right. But you have to, like, have a little bit of a range on it, I guess? You just have to roll the last part of that to avoid most of the damage. Damn. Nope. Good try, though. Good try. Yeah, I got kicked straight in the face. I was hoping that there was some sort of hyper armor tied to it. Like, that would have been great if there was, but that was most unfortunate. That was most unfortunate. Do I play Skyrim as well? I played Skyrim back in high school. And at the time, I think it was the most time I'd ever put into a game that I could think of, or at least the most time I'd ever put into a single character. Now, the thing is, a little while ago, I tried to mod Skyrim following a guide, and I ran into some issues. I don't know, like, I could play through vanilla Skyrim again, but I just don't know how, like, I don't know how to make just vanilla Skyrim enjoyable. You know, I think that modding is a big part of it, and like the mods spice things up, because just playing through vanilla RPGs, yeah, well after they came out, I feel like there's only so much you can do with it. That's like interesting. I don't know, because I'm not like a role player. So that kind of makes things a little more on the difficult side. Do like a permanent run or something? I mean, I guess you could, but like, I don't know. for me, like a permadeath run, I feel like I would want to have like enough knowledge about the game as is to go ahead and do permadeath. You know, like I've played through Dark Souls casually enough times to eventually be like, you know what? Yeah, we'll get you know, you go for a deathless run, then you go for more challenging runs after that. Wait, what? Did I just like body check the dog out of midair? What? Even. Popcorn, welcome back. How are you doing, man? Wonder if I ever played it. Yeah, I've played it. So I put in about 180 hours, I believe, into that character, and then I only had a couple hours, like when we were trying to mod it, but I did not have success with that, unfortunately. I really wish I did, because I feel like that could have been a lot of fun, but yeah, RPGs are a weird thing when it comes to streaming. Like, some people have definitely like the community for them, but you know, others, like, you know, say we play this, right? And this is a lot of boss, not a lot of reading, or at least the way we play it. So going to something like that, you know, that's a lot more dialogue and a lot more, you know, interacting with characters in the game as opposed to just like the gameplay side of it, quote unquote. So I don't know, but I think at this point, like, I really do just need to start taking some risks and branching out with some stuff and just trying new things. Like, yes, I should keep Souls, but I need to work in, you know, other games and such. Right? Like, I think I should try Warframe, and I should try Path of Exile, and I should yeah, I'm wait. There's games that are coming out that I will do like first playthroughs of and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've been kind of struggling. Like, I'm enjoying the Pokemon speedruns. I just don't have enough time to do them at night. You know, even if I got like a good, yeah, even if I save 20 minutes on my run, right, which is very possible if I play well. Yeah, that takes me 3.5 hours to do. So if I start at 7:30, yeah, 3.5 hours is gonna put me at 11 p.m., which means I've got roughly an hour worth of resets that I could do. That's not really a lot of time for resets, which is like why I like doing it on the weekends. Aaron, welcome back. Hex, welcome back as well. Princess Dusk cosplay run, where you also cosplay as Princess Dusk. Alright, but the problem, just a minor detail, is the actual crafting of all of these cosplay things. I don't have the creative edge to do that stuff, and I don't believe those are easily purchasable or cheap. But yeah, no, I had a YouTube channel comment on mine about like, I love that you're doing cosplay runs, whatever, and then I clicked on their channel and they were like an actual cosplay YouTube. And I was like, yeah, no, I doubt. You just commented. You probably put a generic comment on all of the recent videos that said cosplay in the title. But joke's on you, I am just cosplaying in the game. Hey Technique, welcome back. Fastest and best way to do it is take a Sharpie and draw on a shirt or something? Wait, so it's like body art? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So I should just... Alright, this is weird. You're saying, like, take your shirt off and then draw a shirt on?
You're not exploiting your body on Twitch for use, Colby.
Why not?
Because it's illegal.
I need something. I need an edge.
Not that.
Well, alright, I'm not allowed to sell my body for sex or money or anything, I guess. I need a new plan. I need a new plan. Oh, you draw on an actual physical shirt. Okay. You don't draw a shirt onto yourself. Got it. That makes a whole lot more sense. I wish I thought of that. I had the assumption that my cosplay was IRL. Nah, see, I couldn't do cosplays every new game if that were the case. That would just be too expensive. Too much to deal with. That would just be too much to deal with. But yeah, no, I can see how that would be misleading, but I know what I mean. I know what I mean. And you can tell, obviously, within the first, like, 5 seconds of looking at the stream that I am not whatever you think I am. So. Alright. Hey. Buddy. Fuck you. No, game wouldn't even let me get an attack in. It was rude. So incredibly rude. Alright. Okay, so we should be popping balls on the tree. With katanas. Whoa, hello, buddy. Boom. Boom. Hey, Nari, thank you, man. I hope you're doing well. Also, thank you for stopping by. Also, how is your, hope your Path of Exile has been going well. Hey, wait, can I jump over the... Wait, does that still count as a hit if you fly over it? Oh, hello. I got the fancy balls up top. Those are the ones that I like never get because I never have them near me. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Legal means cute in Portuguese? Why does that sound like... Why does that sound very, very sketchy to me? Why does that sound very, very sketchy to me? College has been absurd. Path of Exile has been... Aw, damn. Yeah, the colleges have started back up. Back into school season. We'll see how it affects stream. I'm sure it can't hurt stream much more than the stream's already been hurting. I don't need to be a Debbie Downer. Jite, what's up, man? How things be good. Things be good. You're learning Portuguese? Oh, are you? For what purpose? Speaking of which, I should start learning Italian again. That way I can actually understand what's going on if I go to Italy. That way I can actually understand. Because I was teaching myself for a little bit, and then I stopped. I just didn't have, like, a real-world application to use it in, which is the hardest part about it. Because I feel like if you have, like, a way to use it, either with people or something that you want to read or whatever, just some sort of way to use it makes it so much better. Had to learn Spanish in middle school? I learned Spanish. Took it in 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. And then I took it again in college for a semester, but it basically covered the same stuff that we covered in high school. So it was basically a refresher course, but it was required for my major. Alright, Nari, take care, dude. Thank you for stopping by. And jumped on a bus to Alaska? He might have, I don't know, man. Maybe he got abducted or something. Or maybe Vern is holding him hostage and saying, no more Twitch for you. You're done. And that was the last we heard from Moog ever. I'm doing well, Raymond. Thank you for asking, dude. I'm doing pretty good. Online Spanish courses made you had to do tests over the phone. It was bad enough trying to understand Spanish or trying to understand through a phone. Oh no, because it's just like extra distortion added into it. You don't like to live? Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Path of Exile is fun. Yeah, no, I was gonna try it on Friday, and new content dropped on Friday, and that made the directory go from very small to about, what did I see, 60,000 people watching. Like, top streams had multiple thousands of people. I was like, you know, it was looking pretty good when there were like a couple people that were bigger, and then it dropped down to like the 20s. I'm like, I can squeeze in there. Like top 5, easy peasy, but at 60-some thousand people watching, I'm not finding my way in there. Not as the new guy trying to learn how to play the game. You're conversational in Spanish. I know you are, Catherine. Colombian Spanish. Always DM you about anything. Yeah, I was gonna go back to Duolingo. Apparently they've changed some things. But yeah, I will definitely ask if needed. I used to ask Seb questions about like why things were the way they were. So I will do the same with you if I get back into it. The biggest thing is just getting back into it. Come on. I want him to do the homing soul mask, thank you. What a boss. What a boss. Collision between Earth and Mars is pretty bad. Well, I wouldn't think it would be anything minor, but you know, it's just a hunch. Now, all the best pizza places, we're gonna be fully reliant on you to take us to the best pizza place and the best gelato place, if they are not the same location in all of Naples. You will be our guide. An espresso, that's just for Catherine. I only care about the pizza and gelato. Great Italian espresso. If he couldn't, do you think he would actually be Italian? Also, we did have an offer from Seb to go to his mom's house, but I said we're gonna be on and off a cruise ship, so we're not gonna be able to do that. But having to turn down an Italian mother for food is probably one of the hardest things I had to do in my life. Guava is the best. I could debate that. To be fair, I don't like a lot of things though, so I don't know how good my argument is actually going to be. After turning down an Italian grandmother. To be fair, I have an Italian grandmother. Well, she was married to an Italian man. I think she's partially Italian herself. So like, I won't turn her down. I have my close to home Italian family. Makes damn good food. Damn good food. But yeah, I would say that's pretty close. I know it's not the same because she's not from Italy, but being married to a man from Italy, that's close. Never knew your grandparents? So that's unfortunate. I hate to see it too when like people do have like their grandparents and stuff, but they like, I don't know, regret spending time with them. If that makes sense. Like I'm very fortunate. My grandparents are quite young. Like just reaching into their 70s, if I recall correctly. Like my great grandmother is still alive. My great grandmother is 87 years old. Like not, most people can't say that. Most people can't be in their 20s and say that their great grandmother is in their 80s. Like that's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. Like there's the potential for if I have kids in the next few years, we have great-great-grandchildren in the family. We have 5 generations. That's like, what? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But like in an awesome kind of way. Younger than your grandfather? I mean, I think that's, like, my family is pretty young. There aren't many families, I feel like, that you'll find that each generation had kids at a pretty young age. Lots of money, so your family has that money? I mean, obviously, I don't know what the best way to word this is. That's a good thing for your family, obviously not in the sense of your great-grandmother passing away, but, yeah, it's definitely beneficial to the family if, you know, they use the money, right? A mansion shit, damn. Yeah, no, my family's not rich, they're just young. Generational, but not super wealthy. And the closest I'll get to wealthy is just being frugal, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just save my money, buy the specific things I want, and go on the vacations I want. I'm very much okay with living a functional life. Oh god. These arrows, though. These arrows are close. Stall Data, what's up? How are you? I never enjoy going down that. Not at all. Distant relative of the Von Trapps from The Sound of Music. Just gonna throw that out there. Oh. Do you have... Yeah, see, I feel like that far out, though, you're not gonna have, like, will connections. Not that that's... But that's just, like, a cool thing. To be like, yeah, I'm related. What vacations would I like to go on? Also, we're planning for the honeymoon to be a Mediterranean cruise, but it would definitely be... Yeah, it would definitely be cool to go back to Europe in some capacity, whether it be on... You know, to go up to, like, Scandinavian countries. Oh, God. Can we not? Go to, like, Scandinavian countries or go to, you know, Germany or England or, you know, anything like that. Like, there's definitely opportunities for... Oh, my God, dog. Why is he just running in circles? Hello. Hello. I hate this boss fight with a burning passion. Rhineland, Palatinate Falls. So I would like to visit the parts that, like, I had family from, right? So I believe my, like, dad's side of the family, and I say my dad's side, I mean, like, all the way back to, like, our family name comes from, like, Darmstadt area, which is near Frankfurt. And then my like great grandfather was from, I want to say, Stuttgart. I don't know exactly where. I know where in Darmstadt, but I don't know where in Stuttgart. Therefore, an asteroid expo last summer. It's very pretty. Yeah, like, I just think it would be cool to go if I'm gonna go there to, like, see where my family was from. Not that that'll necessarily mean a lot, but I still think it would be pretty neat. It's from Norway. Yeah, mine's pretty much just split between Germany and Italy. I can't see. Now, if this guy would just die. Jesus. So dumb. Italy, Morocco, and some Spain. Nice and Mediterranean. Yeah, I think there's, like, I don't know, somewhere down the line, I'm pretty sure there's some little bits of, like, Irish. But I would have to get, like, I don't know, I think it would be cool to have, like, an official thing done for DNA and see exactly where, yeah, your family heritage is from, because I know the large majority of it, but I think there are ties with my family name back to possibly Greece, so there's potential with that. I know that, like, you know, my family name was like a German, what is it, like they Americanized the name, I guess, when they came to the US back in the 1700s. So it was a German last name that then they changed, so it, like, that's why you can trace that exactly back to the start. Past that, I don't really know. Family DNA test for the longest time, but your mother would always get really mad and say, I know my family heritage, I don't need some stupid DNA test results to tell you. See, like, okay, so on my dad's side, my grandmother has, like, a family, like, book. So it's got generational, you know, history all the way back to the, like, where I said when they came to the US, they tracked the family trees that way. But so, okay, I know that they came from Germany, right? But, like, past that, you know, what is there? And, you know, my grandfather came over on a boat from Italy, but how Italian was his heritage? How Italian was, you know, my grandmother's heritage, who he married over here. She's Italian, but I think she has a little bit of maybe Irish or English in her. Yeah, you can't know your entire family heritage, but it would still be cool to get as best of a breakdown as you can. 1800s and 1900s? Oh, damn. See, yeah, I don't have anything like that. Wait, did I light the bonfire? Am I going crazy? I did. Okay, I am going crazy. Yeah, I don't have anything like that. We have a book just with a bunch of names and relationships and stuff, and it has like the generation number next to it so you can track it, but we don't have anything like that on my mom's side. I think my grandmother like tried to start piecing things together, but like you as an individual can only trace back so far, and you need like information from relatives then to from your cousins and try and branch it. It gets to be a lot real fast. It gets to be a lot real fast. After your great-grandmother, Caroline from Oslo, which is pretty much it. Yeah, see, me and, like, none of myself or any of my siblings weren't named after, like, there was no influence from, like, previous family or anything like that. The name was just because my parents liked it. Yeah, had no ties to the family. Any of our names, first or middle. But like I have other family that there's like my cousin's a junior, but he goes by his middle name and his dad goes by the first name. Like we've got some people with first names passed down as middle names for someone else. Alright, well that works. A friend of your dad has her genealogical tree traced all the way down to like the 7th century. Damn. That's pretty damn far back. Like, not a lot of people can trace that far. Right? Like furthest I know that we could trace back is the 1700s, so you're only getting to the 18th century. Which is not really that far back. I mean, it's still cool to know, like, hey, they came over, like, Revolutionary War times. I don't know that they had any ties to the war itself. But, yeah, I know that they came over. And I know I've seen on, like, pictures, like, most of the family is still in Pennsylvania. I mean, there's been records shown of like very small amounts in other states, but there really hasn't been much movement of the entire family tree. I rolled that early. Since the 1700s, which is kind of crazy. It's just like, yeah, we stay in the same state. Yeah, we might move within the state, but for the most part. Ravioli. Ravioli, bring me the formioli? You won't get away with this. I will not give you the formioli. I will not. Try and figure out heritage. Learn about your father's side. Your mother was Polish, but you have suspicions from her last name that she was Jewish. Yeah, like, that's part of the reason why I wanted to, why I was trying to learn Italian and thought it would be cool then to, like, if I got good enough at Italian to learn German from Italian. Just because those are the languages from the countries my family is from. That was really the only, like, interest to me with that. But yeah, it'd be cool, but it's a lot of research, especially if your family doesn't really know. Like, you have to start reaching out to distant relatives that you don't really know to be like, hey, so who were your aunts, uncles, cousins, your parents, your grandparents? Like, how much information do you have on your family in particular? And then let me try and tie that into, my pool. Make the link. Bring me my flail. My flail. There's like that little bit of like phlegm right at the end. Bring me my flail. My flail. It's like, alright. Alright, Ariandel. You need a drink? Need a lozenge, maybe? Which part? More typical from northern Italians? I believe they're from southern Italy. Now, I'm German, so like that's obviously the whiter side of me. But yeah, I believe they were from like basically the curve of the boot kind of area. To my knowledge, I want to say it's called Reggiano di Gravina, but I don't know 100%. I'm trying to remember what my grandmother had told me at one point. Somewhere in that area, though, I want to say. I don't understand why there's that little, like, kick action that goes along with that jump. It's like a little stagger that happens to the character and then you hit him. Is near Cosenza? Yeah, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that's the name that she said. More brown it would show. Yet again, your mother's friend is Sicilian. He's incredibly white compared to the rest of the populace there. Yeah, so like it's split with my family. So like one of my sisters, she'll get very, very dark. Like she'll tan very easily. My other sister and I were very pale. We got the more German genes. Like cousins of mine can get very dark and their dad does as well. But other cousins are very pasty. So the genes kind of got split up. The skin tone definitely got very split up between family members. Hey, Dindu. Half Asian, you're tan all the time. We always joke that my one friend was like Ethiopian because he was just tan all the time. Like he would get so dark and we're like, how do you manage to just be this tan year round? Meanwhile, all of us are pasty as can be. But everybody's different, so. No, Frida, I don't want any. I don't like the way this is going. Asian Jesus. Has she walked on water? Has she turned water into wine? Has she walked on wine even? That's something. Why not turn water into wine and then walk on it? Jesus was definitely missing out on one of his miracle opportunities. Walk on the ground? Still pretty impressive. Some people can't manage that. If we get a bleed, we're dead. That works too. That works too. So far, so good. I really do like the hat with this. I don't know, I just like having hats. Ferris hat is probably still my favorite, but I do like this. That feeling when it doesn't lock on. Hey Mike, welcome back. Lightning Spear was the favorite of Jesus' miracles. You think he was an avid Dark Souls kind of guy? Also, Lightning Spear seems to be like it'd be more or less one, you know, Zeus's favorite thing. Yeah, Jesus seems more like a Heal-Aid kind of guy, you know? Can't get the backstabs. Too scrubby. $40 Jamesons and 40 vodka. I don't recall Jesus getting a large crowd of people drunk. Are you sure you're remembering the right stories? You can't get a follow-up to the L1 there. You either delay the L1 or you do a charged R2, it seems like. I'm not sure that there's really any other options to get extra damage. I would like to get a flying kill if I can get the... Damn. Just kind of guessing. Get a flying kill if I can. Ah, yes, beautiful backstabs. Beautiful backstabs. Oh no! You gotta give her the knee to the face to stagger her just long enough to slice her in the face. That's the key. If you ever find yourself just shy of hitting somebody that you really want to, just give them a knee to the face. It'll distract them long enough so that you can actually get the blow in that you want. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. Oh, man. Backstab watchers. Ugh. Yucko. Yucko, yucko, yucko. So I was going through the list of the cosplays that we've done. I do need to go back and repeat some. Because the VODs were corrupted because we were doing runs with Comcast at the time, I believe. So we have a lot of cosplay runs that are just like dead VODs or split VODs, and Twitch doesn't offer a way to like stitch together VODs in their video creator, which I think is like a really cool idea, or be very useful if they did it. That basically, like, instead of creating multiple VOD or like multiple highlights simultaneously, is like being able to just automatically stitch together a bunch of highlights, right? So like in the highlight editor, you could have an option that made each one a separate highlight, or it combined them all, because like people could then easily within Twitch make a highlight reel video, or they could make if their internet, like in my case, dropped out, you would be able to still make your highlight of the VOD. It's not multiple different highlights. Been watching Unity tutorials out of boredom. Now you really wanted to learn Unity game dev. Do you have an idea for what you would make? Because that seems to be, like, my biggest thing with any of that sort of creative stuff is, like, I don't have ideas. Or my character can get stuck. Like, some people are idea people, some people are the actual doers. I am most certainly not an idea person. And sometimes I really wish I was, because it would definitely help with, like, creating content and stuff on Twitch. I feel like that's a department that I struggle in severely, is, like, coming up with interesting ideas for things to do on stream, right? Like, whether it be how to present the stream itself, or what games to play, or what challenges to do, you know, how to necessarily, I don't know, make the stream more enjoyable in different manners, or make it more unique. Like, there's just a complete lacking in that department. Nothing about C#, but Unity scripting seems like a good way to get into it, since Unity does most things for you. You just add scripts. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be fun if you've got the ideas and the creative mind for it. Plus, learning any sort of programming language, in my opinion, is a very good thing. You know, it's a very different style of thinking, and I think it's one that's worthwhile for people to learn. You know, it's logical reasoning. If you worked in a C language, yeah, like, I think for myself, yeah, C# would be not too difficult to learn, because I work in C++ all the time, and I know C as well. Hey, Spicy. Seen Merlin? I have not. What exactly is Merlin, if I may ask? Is that a show? Ooh, that's close. It's a TV show. I don't really watch much for TV shows. Although now living with Catherine, like, I've been watching more than I had in the past. We just started watching Big Bang Theory from the first season, which is fitting because I'm a nerd, and also the last season is coming out, so I'll be able to actually, like, you know, fully watch it. I hate watching shows that are currently on TV because then you gotta wait. I like to just watch stuff as it comes out. But yeah, we're making our way through that. It's good. It's good stuff. I find it funny. Probably just confirms that I'm a nerd, but hey, I don't care. I do not care. Most tutorials on Unity scripting are very good, but some of them go over your head. What about it goes over your head? Exactly. Because if it's, like, programming concepts, then, like, that's gonna make sense. New Game of Thrones season, stop watching after season 4 and binge the season. Yeah, like, I binged the first 3 seasons and started watching season 4, I think, when it was on TV, and now I've had to watch every season. But it takes me, or it's so hard for me to keep up with these shows, because I don't have that luxury of, like, watching it all in a short time period and then remembering all of the previous details. Like, you're waiting a year since the last time you watched the show, and then you're like, okay, so what? Hey, Nano. Thank you for the host, man. Welcome back. That was really weird. Difference between fixed update and time.delta time. They look like they accomplish the same thing. Understand the hierarchy, how classes, functions, variables work, but you don't understand how all things intertwine. I'd have to take a look at it. I'd have to take a look at it myself to actually understand what you're talking about, since I've never done anything with C# or Unity. But yeah, there are sometimes things that accomplish the same thing, or they're very, very similar, but there's a minute difference. Finished your first class? Nice, man. How'd that go? I hope the answer is well. Almost always more than one way to do the same thing. Yeah, sometimes it's like, because they're in two different libraries, and so one library didn't import another one, they had to do it themselves. Yeah, that's a potential reason why. Am I giving that a shot? No. Jete has been looking into tutorials and stuff and had brought it up. I am not a game developer. Although, I feel like if I was going to develop a game like that, I would just stream myself developing the game. Because otherwise I would just have to give up streaming, and like, that would be what I do. Alright, we gonna just be a roly Abyss Watcher? Jeez. This guy. We really don't do a lot on crits, I'll say that much. That works way better on humanoids, I must say. Smacking the knee to the face. Really dumb basics is you're not good at coding, and that's completely okay. Like, everybody starts with no knowledge. You don't, you know, doesn't matter what you start with. At some point, you will have no clue what's going on. So feel free to ask any questions. University your ex-girlfriend went to, there's a chemistry teacher everyone avoids taking due to her pass rate only being 20%. Oh yeah, no, there's most definitely professors that people avoid at like every school. Some people will specifically just not take a class a certain semester and wait for the next semester to take it because they know that the teacher's not teaching it the next time and they can afford to wait. We absolutely had that at my university with several teachers. Some more than others. Some were like, people would tolerate it. Others, it was a flat out no. Make slower frames, give a bigger effect, and even out things over time. While time.delta time calculates things over time instead of frames. Yeah, so there might be like a, depending on the scene you've got and stuff, a smoothness that goes along with it, and different rendering things, which that's something that I've never had to think about, is like dynamic graphics and whatnot. The most I've had for like UI is, you know, a page is rendered with buttons, and it, you know, in the sense of like a web page, you click on a button and it opens a new page. I don't have like, and even the graphs, like the graphics that we have, it's like a graph, so, or like a slider. Like, there's not a lot of crazy time-based, yeah, or moving parts and whatnot. Hey, Mikhail. How are you, dude? What's going on? Programming teacher had a 40% pass rate before he got the axe. Yeah, we had some pretty bad. I don't know about pass rate, but I knew that there were people that just absolutely hated him, because it was one of those things where like the class would be hell and then it would be curved at the end, and so like the pass rate would be high enough, right? That's how teachers get away with it. They do just a curve at the end of the semester, but everybody's grades are terrible, the class is terrible, and then at the end you get curved to like a C, and it's like, well, great. That's really freaking good. Thank you for that. Tried streaming game dev once, it was not good. Trying out Unreal for the first time, struggled so much, given that you don't know so much C++ at all. My thing is, unless I had an idea, I don't know why I buffed there. Unless I had an idea already in my head, like, it would still be very hard for me to stream it. Right. Oh. I hate, like, how you can't actually see the fog hitbox sometimes. Like here, you can actually see the fog. But if you go like lower over here, you start getting hit even though you can't actually physically see any fog. Not getting the least, in at least somewhat of trouble for having such a low pass rate. Tenure. Well, I don't know. There's so many different factors, but curves are the way that a lot of teachers like got around that. They would have the normal pass rate, but like they'd have to curve their students' grades at the end of the semester. May or may not have mobile internet anymore. Oh, you finally got your internet installed, Mikhail? Nice, man. Nice. Good stuff, dude. Dark Souls remade in Unreal Engine 4? Oh, the original Dark Souls was remade in Unreal Engine 4? Is there a way to actually download and play that? Or still don't have a phone line installed, but the modem is running in backup, so it's a bit slower. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean by that? I'm not really sure how Australian internet works in general, let alone this particular situation, so I apologize. Are there other options, Mikhail, besides Telstra? I guess there are. Telstra's the only one I know of. Because they're probably one of the bigger ones. Knowing linguistics kind of helps with coding languages. Only the prescriptive side of it, though. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. Because, I mean, it's a syntax, right? I mean, that's the syntactical side of things. You know. Can only watch in 480p, but it's better than 160. Oh yeah, it's better than mobile quality. I took 2 linguistics courses in college, and used those as my. So we had to have 2 classes, 2 like senior level classes, that related to comp sci in some way, and there were only a couple that were like pre-approved. Everything else you had to like petition. So I took 2 400, like I took 2 senior level psych classes, psychology of language and psychology of language and thought. I was able to take those and petition them to count, you know, for my computer science degree. So that was pretty cool. I should have done the flying. Gosh darn. Missing opportunities left and right. Missing opportunities left and right. Much better eye for syntax when you study languages. Human and computer languages. How you call it non-human languages. Well, yeah, they're called computer languages unless you're referring to like animal communication. I don't know if that's actually what you're referring to or not with non-human languages. Modem connects to a mobile network as a backup for when the line is down, and you don't have the line installed. Oh, okay, so you don't have a DSL line, but you've got the mobile backup. Gotcha. Drop by and share the good news. All right, Mikhail. Take care, dude. Enjoy your family event. I will catch you later. See you, man. Your university has nothing about coding at all, really? I feel like that's such a popular and common thing nowadays that it's almost a standard, unless it's like a liberal arts university, which would then make sense. I'm an idiot. This is not the first time I've done this. Not the first time I've gone here before I freaking go to Deacon's. Bit of code was a link. Yeah, if you did word somewhere in there, the bot's gonna freak out at you. People don't know shit about computers, which is why you pay $30 for a 10.8 connection. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, I pay $40 for 100. To be fair, Comcast will charge you $80 for 60 down, 5 up, so Comcast just assumes people don't know shit either. And like try and be the only option in certain areas, so you have to go with them. I just wish Fios was more, or just fiber in general was in more locations. Poya Rock, what's up, man? How are you doing? Mixing up your English today as you're learning a third language. What language are you learning, Nano? You guys are making me feel like I should be learning another language again. Gotta learn my Italian. Damn. I'll just start streaming in Italian, and then we'll get partnered as an Italian streamer, because I'm sure streaming in Italian requires a much lower average view ratio. So if you guys will just bear with me for a few months, easy peasy, we can get the quality options, then we'll go back to an English stream. Learn 3 languages, only ever use 1. I learned a bunch of computer languages, does that count? Perfetto. Quindi posso parlare in Italiano. Chat. Italiano. Why did I say Italiano? I was reading through it too fast. Oh man, what an idiot. What an idiot. Okay, no, I can't read that. It should say I only know Latin characters. So don't be throwing Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Cyrillic, any of that stuff at me. I don't know symbolic languages. It's not my wheelhouse. Change languages in one line. I am pretty certain. I don't know what the second language is. First one is Chinese. Fairly certain. Pearl Harbor Part 2 coming soon. Oh my god. That's all Japanese? Oh, is it? That's 2 different. They have multiple alphabets. The other alphabet just looks way different. Way different. 4 writing systems. I remember back in high school I had a friend who was teaching himself Japanese, and he actually got pretty proficient at it. Like, he passed their level 4 proficiency test, like, self-taught. But I remember him saying about there being multiple different written languages, and I think it's because there's like they had like almost the dumbed down, right? Didn't they have like the dumbed down because it was like the farmers and stuff like that, or the peasants? I don't remember how he worded it, but I think there was a reason why there were different. Second level from the bottom, N5 to N1. And then see, now I don't know if he took N4 or if he meant N2 by like the 4th level. Honestly, it very well could have been N2, but I don't know. Not that it really matters to me at this point. It's just my... no, it's just my little fun fact. Kanji is China character? Oh, okay. Interesting. Is that why I thought it was Chinese? Is that why I thought it was Chinese? Hey Cable, how are you doing, man? Learn Japanese by playing Dark Souls? I mean, there are definitely interesting ways to learn different languages, sure. I've heard of people learning English by, like, watching Friends. Yeah, you can definitely, like, use forms of media to teach yourself. A language. Okay, what's going on here? Oh my god! What is this garbage, man? Jeez. Jesus. What's the next challenge after this? NG plus 72 no hit. I had thought about a run. I had thought about a max new game, max level no hit run, but it's probably not really that interesting. Probably not even that interesting considering it's like, oh, but streamer, you're as strong as you possibly can be. Also, I don't really know how much I want to no-hit a game again. I don't know why I turned here. But I don't really know how much I want to do another no-hit run. Which is why it was left at just, like, an idea. More than anything. I don't know. Like... The trouble I've been having is I need more, like, challenge runs to do, but... At least with Dark Souls 3, the challenge runs that are left would basically make me hate myself. I feel like... It's like, oh, SL1 New Game plus 7 no roll, and all bosses no hit, and... different things like that, and it's like, I don't really want to do any of those things. Oh, come on. That's the only problem with that running attack. Chinese language test in a week? So Jite, how many languages do you know? And is that just something that you're passionate about and teach yourself frequently? Dr. Bricklayer, thank you for the follow. Oh, you hit me in the back. I feel betrayed. I feel betrayed by the deacon. What? Who even hit me? Whatever, that was 4. Putonga? High standards for knowing a language, so you feel you only know Italian and English? You can speak Italian, English, French, and Japanese. And so then this Chinese language test, like if you pass this, will you feel like you can speak it, or are you just like on your way to knowing that language? Professional translator for the UN. It's pretty impressive how many languages some people know. Isn't there like one person that knows like, I feel like it's like 16 or 18 languages. Chinese ones to the very bare. Okay, so you're just getting into it. Either way, that's still interesting in my opinion. But that's coming from someone who knows nothing about languages. Such a stupid boss. Now the big issue I had on that first attempt is that I didn't wait for everybody to come around back, so we had a very crowded front part very quickly. Hey Deuce, welcome back, man. Taiwan, number 1. When you say number 1, the only thing I can think of is from The Office. In Japan, heart surgeon, number 1. Yakuza boss. I love it so much. I love that so much. Only 2 languages. Japanese you can only do simple things, and French you only recently started. Yeah, like I say I have elementary proficiency in Spanish and Italian. Because like I know bits of it, but I don't know like getting into the more complex things of like knowing how to conjugate into the past tense and the different future tenses and all that kind of stuff. Like I can say some basic things, I can kind of understand some stuff if it's written out for me. But I don't have a wide vocabulary. Simplified Chinese? Wait. Written conversation in Japanese, but you need to look up some words. That's how I am with, like, some Italian stuff still. Like, I can understand some things to an extent, but there are a lot of words that I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is. English, Spanish, French, German, and Japanese? Just because, or do you have a use case for knowing those languages in particular? So when learning Chinese, do you, like, would one learn simplified Han first, or do you learn, like, is the traditional? I guess simplified is probably it, right? And yeah, knowing syntax and grammar is huge, because then you can just like look up words, right? And it's a plug and chug type of thing. Not knowing syntax, You know, and grammar is a huge setback in my mind. Always depends on what you do. Yeah, but there's some stuff that's more dated, and it's like, yes, that's Chinese, or yes, that's Japanese, but it's not really used all that much. Both simplified and traditional. Yeah, but if you were just going to go to China, right, and you wanted to be able to converse with people from China, whether it be on the internet or in person, whatever, if you wanted to have conversation, but you use the language to be simplified. Yeah, that's use case, like, standard use case. Obviously, there's always going to be weird use cases where you need to know other things, but I was just curious what the standard. You just feel like it. Well, I don't know. Some people have aspirations to do, say, like international business, and that kind of thing would be very beneficial. You know, to be multilingual. Some people just want to know it. Some people have family from all different parts of the world. Like, there's all different reasons. You have friends from different countries, or you're planning to move to a different country. So many reasons. The left one is traditional Chinese. Okay. I see. There's a lot more. There's a lot more to the character. Just more stuff to remember. Well, they wouldn't call it simplified for no reason, huh? Just want to watch anime without subs. Mr. Deku, welcome back. See, maybe that's why I have no interest in Japanese. I haven't had interest in any anime, subbed or dubbed. But yeah, I've heard that conversation come up a lot though. You know, people saying how bad the dubbed versions are. Yeah, and so they want to watch subbed, but if you just wanted to watch this, you know, the standard unsubbed anime, but you're still watching in Japanese. My biggest thing with that would be I'd want to watch, if I was going to watch anime, I would want to watch dubbed, even though people say a lot of them are worse, because I find that just like sitting there reading what's going on, I miss a lot of like the visual, and like that's what I'm watching the show for. Or like if I just wanted the text and minimal pictures, I would read a book. I don't know. That's me personally. Everybody obviously has a different opinion on that. There's a long paragraph. You expect me to read all of that? English and French simply already know because yes, Japanese you want to learn eventually because you want to be able to travel to Japan easily, and because your best friend is Japanese. German you've always wanted to learn since you can remember. And it's said that way, and a lot of your family speaks English and Spanish. A lot of your family speaks French, and your family bloodline can be tracked down to France. Additionally, there is volunteering opportunity you have. Yeah, so like, okay, you have reasons for all of those things. Yeah, and if something's a passion of yours, there's no sense in not doing it. I will say that these weapons don't have the longest of ranges. I almost didn't walk under that. Should be transforming here soon, huh? how I got away with that. Although I'm really close to killing the Shade. So that'd be quite nice if I can isolate him. Nikkei, what's up? Rip no hit Pontiff, I know. Such scrubbery. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. And we died to Deacons. That's the only death so far. We're basically trash. We're basically trash at this game. Other than the voice acting, the biggest difference between dub and sub would be release time. Oh yeah, because the dubbing, like, they have to wait, right? So if you're keeping up with something current, then the dubbed is gonna be, you know, you're gonna be behind because they have to do all the voice acting for that. No, but people say that the dub versions are worse typically because of the voice acting not fitting or not being up to par. And I understand that. It's a secondhand casting. Hey Jack, welcome back. What are my weapons? These are the Onikiri and Ubidachi. This is the guy from the archives. We'll be passing him later, but he's one of the trio that's waiting for you. What's up, MRC? What soul level am I? That is a great question. I think like 700 and... I'm 712. That is my solo. 90 to go. Anime is missing the most formal use of Japanese. So what, is everything just informal, or is it... I know nothing about it. Language is alive? It is, man. It's always changing, new words being added. I clearly missed a large amount of this conversation, so me pulling out a single line of it makes absolutely zero sense. Makes absolutely no sense. There's gentle speech, which has nothing to do with honorific or humble. Playing DS3 as well, you're only level 170 and you thought it was a lot? Well, to be fair, we have 322 hours on this character, so... I mean, 170's definitely not bad. It just gets very steep and just ends up being a lot of playtime after that. But you can make a pretty solid build with 170 levels. A lot of our levels are just overkill at this point. Hey Andres, how are you doing? Welcome back. Less official and less polite if you just learn Japanese for anime. Alright, no taken. I will just never learn Japanese, because that would probably be my only reason, and I don't watch anime to begin with, so might as well not start now. But yeah, if you take a look at our levels, like, it's 99 in most things and 69 in everything else. It's gonna make me so sad when I have no levels in 69 anymore. Enter a store, for example. You're welcomed with honorific speech. They say, oh god. I'm not it. Arashama. Arashama say? Which means please come in. Alright. Ah, my eye itches. It's pretty decent damage. Although I don't know if I'm gonna get in close. No, nice. Woo! That's on the very edge. Good one, Aldrich. That was a nice try. That was a nice try. Ah, my eye, dude. What the heck? Break of code if you use it for yourself. Yeah, there's a lot of going over my head happening right now. But that's fine. Jite is our linguist. In the simplest way you can. Yeah, but I mean, there has... As the simplest way, but it also is using the Japanese itself as a part of it, and like utilizing parts of the Japanese language, which I have no knowledge of. Yeah, you understand a bit later. If you have no knowledge of the language, then it's completely over. Yeah, the people here that understand any semblance of Japanese probably have an idea of what's going on. But I'm just gonna kind of nod my head like I do with most things and just, that's great. Act like I maybe understand. So I C# to you in 0 IQ words, you wouldn't understand shit. Yeah, but you understand syntax and grammar, so it helps. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking, Andrus. C# master race. I mean, it's a C language, so I'm biased towards it. I'm biased towards it anyway. I mean, I don't know C#, but it's anything like C and C++ and such, I'm a fan. All right, Nano. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Best of luck with your schooling as it continues. I don't know why I healed there. We're gonna drop down again. It's fine. Philology for now, but you're planning on getting into C# Unity scripting. You should write all of your comments in different languages. Maybe name some of your variables the Latin spelling of things. Just switch it up. Smart, educated people here. I mean, I'm educated. I don't know if I'd be called smart. At least talking about languages makes me feel dumb. I know computer languages and English. It's my knowledge base. And even at that, there are people that know way more than me. Debug, yeah, then just throw a bunch of Japanese for your debug logging. Excellent.
Colby, do the same thing during sex. Just nod my head and pretend like I know what's going on.
Jack, thank you for the bits, man. Hey, as long as you're like, yeah, this is happening, I wouldn't have any complaints. There's no reason. Don't just never nod your head no, because then it stops. So I'll give you the spoiler on the outcome there. Function names have Japanese characters? Well, you can't have... I don't believe you can use like non-Latin characters in the actual coding language itself. But you could translate them to Latin script if you wanted to. Nodding instead of shouting yes. Well, sometimes, what if you need to be quiet? All names in kanji so you can save disk space. There you go. Less characters, smaller file size. Easy peasy. Create your own language. You can do that. We should create our own language for the stream. Although that would be That would be incredibly inclusive. Be absolutely terrible if you're trying to bring people into your stream. Be like, oh, they speak something that only if you've been a part of this community for years would you understand. Ah, damn it. Didn't hit his head. How do I... Hey. I wonder how consistently I can do that. Create an engine that, yeah, create my own language. I need to create my own, not only my own, you know, written and spoken language, but I also need to write my own computer language. Nods furiously. Yeah, but only if it's really good. Yeah, that's how you indicate without words, is just the furiosity of your nodding. Clobanese. Honestly, that just sounds like Balinese. It's more like a food than a language. Morse code. Symbolic Morse code. Lobster seat. See, that's more like it. Using your brain. That's for thinking with your lipstick. God, that's such an old commercial. Love that commercial though. That's for thinking with your lipstick, Jimmy. One of these times, we will stagger you. Very complex character in Japanese is probably a complex concept like depression or a dragon that is about to ascend to the heavens. Complex Chinese character, it's about noodle broth. I like the dragon better, personally. Although, is there a really complex character about like a depressed dragon that's about to descend into noodle broth? Because that would be something. Do I have to R1 follow up there? Dragon that is about to ascend into the heavens and dragon that has already ascended into the heavens is pronounced the same way. So how do you differentiate? Just by context? Or do you just make an assumption of what the person is trying to say? Context for spoken, kanji for written, okay. That might be the way to go. Get the jump attack into the head and then R1 the arm. For damage maximization. Well, that didn't really do much. It like jumped up past the head and then hit. It's weird. Jumped up past the head and then hit him in the neck. I think L1s are just the way to go for that. language that doesn't have time, like in The Arrival? Wait, is The Arrival a movie? Oh, it's dead. Oh, it's dead. Avocado, welcome back. How are you doing tonight, man? Xcode Swift. I mean, Xcode is the IDE, but yeah, I took an iOS app development class my senior year of college. Koryu is in Chinese is mythology too. Why don't we have American mythology? We're not ancient enough, I guess. That would be a pretty good reason to not have mythology, huh? I've already like proven everything to like that is not possible. We're just gonna make nursery rhymes instead. Movie about aliens that can see the future because their language doesn't have linear time. So because their language doesn't have the concept of linear time, they can see the future. Interesting. Maybe we should just abandon all concepts of time in order to see our own future. The American gods, like, got the Greek gods, the Roman gods, the Chinese gods. Where are the American gods? I mean, the United States of American gods. Because, you know, we don't want to be all America, but there's two Americas, and there are a bunch of countries within that. American God, a TV show? I don't know. But that's only one. What about the others? Native American mythology? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. There's American Dad. I know that much. Yeah, there's American Dad. There's also Family Guy. It's not Family God. But yeah, I have done coding in Swift, but it's been 2 years since I took that, or a year and a half technically, because the semester would just be starting in which I took it. The biggest thing to learn for me in the beginning was like how to program the screen itself for like multiple devices. So like properly creating your layouts using relative positioning and not fixed positioning, right? Because you want it to be able to be on different screen sizes between the different iPhones and iPads and all that. Language determines human behavior. Yeah, no, that doesn't. I don't think that makes much sense. American Aboriginals? Are you referring to Native Americans? Because I thought Aborigines was Australia? Maybe I'm just wrong with that in general, but I thought it was something like that. What the heck? Hello. That was bad. That was very bad. Aboriginal just means born in that place? Okay. Because I just remember in like, now I'm going back like elementary school, right? Like art, and they're talking about Aborigines art, and it's like the cave painting type stuff. I just remember something about like Australia in regards to that. Anything at home since you don't own an Apple computer? Feels bad, man. Yeah, Yeah, that's the one thing with doing any sort of programming for Apple is that you have to program on Mac. But I mean, it makes sense, you know. Their stuff is all very particular to their own. Why doesn't my iTunes work on my Windows? Well, it's because it's not, I mean, like, it'll work, kind of, but it's not, like, designed for it. What you need, Deuce, is one of these bad boys. See that little, see that symbol on the front? This is the key right here. This is the key right here. What time is it now in the US of A? Well, it's 9:47 p.m. here, but, you know, we're a pretty wide country, so there's also some places that are 8:47, 7:47, 6:47, and I believe also if you go, oh, well, actually, are Alaska and Hawaii in the same time zone? They'd be like 4 o'clock, I think. 3 or 4 o'clock. When did HP change their logo? I mean, I just threw one of those stickers over top, like all the cool kids do with their non-Mac computers. Feeling fancy tonight? Oh, I'm feeling hella fancy. What's up, D-Pod? How are you, man? Morgan Freeman is a mythical figure? Oh, right. Right, yeah, I definitely don't see him in things on TV and in movies. It's not real. My general area, yeah. So it's 9:48 p.m. on the East Coast, where I'm at. It's an expensive key. Well, I didn't specify the price of the key. I'm just saying, it is the key. So apparently there's a way over here that you can just like run and not get hit. That's not it. This is the last time I listened to Enduritize. I need to see where it is. Yeah, that is definitely not it. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Big nopes. I'm gonna just try and roll the fire and see how that goes. But my souls are all the way over to the right. I gotta pick them up and roll ASAP Rocky. Mahatma Cat, what's up? How are you doing? Oh, I was not expecting them. Here! I rolled that early. That's gotta be a timing thing. You like can't see the visual cue for it. If you're trying to just go for roll strats. I have to say, I think the... Okay, I've never had that happen before. I think the nickname that people have given me that throws me off the most is Z-Cole. It's like, people have called me Z, which makes sense, and Kolb and Kolbster and stuff like that, but Z-Cole. Not like even Z-Kolb. Z-Cole. That throws me off the most, I think. Z-Kolb, sure. Like, that, you're ending at the end of the syllable, but just, like, deciding to stop before the end of the syllable is quite odd to my head. To my mind. It's just weird. Bster? Is that Beaster or Bister or Buster? Boster? Bester? Bister? Bastard? You bastard. Culbinator? I'll be back. Silent B? Oh. Oh, I see. I missed it. So close. sounds like an invention. I tried to roll that. Thank you, stored roll. Nah. By Dufresne. By Dufresne? I don't know who that is. We're not gonna get a stagger, are we? That's just how this is going. Alright. Bird. Oh, good, we're at the wall. Notice this thing where I can't actually reach. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much, FromSoft. Greatly appreciate it. Hold on, I need height. No, oh, I'm screwed. I'm gonna just stay down. There's... Okay. Move on. Doofenshmirtz. Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. You don't understand return very well in C#, so you looked up a guide on it, found a complete guide on the Microsoft reference docs. It was way out of your league, felt like a 2-year-old at Harvard. So, okay, so there are two types of... Okay. There's what are called methods, right? Methods are your blocks, right? So when it says void, that's a method. It's gonna do a bunch of stuff, and then it's just gonna finish executing. A function is a type of method that returns a value, right? So if you have a function that returns an integer, a return statement, you could have like multiple places in that function that exit out based on like certain situations, right? So you could have it set out to be like, if this thing happens, yeah, if the value is greater than 4, return true. If the else return false. Oh wow, I rolled that super early. I'm gonna die, that's what's gonna happen here. Fighting like a scrub. Streamer, did you really just beat this New Game Plus 7 SL1? Because it doesn't seem like it. Now we got a bleed proc off. Void is always the parentheses without anything in between? No. So within the parentheses, right? So you'll have the type, right? So if it says void, right, that means there's going to be no return anywhere in the call. In a function, you'll have the type, right? So it could be a boolean, it could be an integer, it could be a string, whatever. That's the type that's being returned. What follows, those are parameters, That's your parameter list. So you can pass in values. And so you'll say a variable named this with this type, and it'll just be a list of those. And then you can use them within, so you can call them from outside. So if you have a main function and you have some variables that you're keeping track of there, right? So you have a main function with, say, variable x and variable y, right? They're both integers, you're doing some math. So then you have an add function that is also an integer, right? So you'd have int add int x comma int y, right? And in there, within the function, it would just do, you know, you could make a variable int z equals x plus y return z, right? If that makes sense. Functions were a big stepping stone for me. Functions, once I finally understood functions, I was like, okay, that makes a whole lot more sense. Call them inside the returning function. Yeah, so like your function can have whatever logic you want to have in there. It just at the end of it, if you're returning a type, that means you're gonna basically just return a value from it. So there are tons of reasons why you would have a function that does something. It doesn't always have to be a calculation. Just be some form of logic. Right? A lot of times functions just end up being like sectioned off like related bits of code that just like make sense to go together, so you don't have one giant block. It allows you to like, especially if you need to reuse it, right? You can reuse the same function in multiple places. Programming tutoring stream. I mean, people are always more than welcome to like ask me questions about it, because everybody's kind of got, you know, specific stuff that they would need more information on. I don't know, I feel like it'd be kind of hard just to give an instructional stream. Dark codes. that sounds kinky. I don't know. Or weird. Void, yeah, so, okay, so void function, they're not really functions. They're technically methods. Functions return something. Methods don't. So, like, methods do something, right? You can pass. So there's a concept called passing variables by reference, which is like a whole nother thing. Those are oftentimes what methods are used for. So like a swap method, right? So you have x and y, and you want to swap the values of x and y. If you don't pass by reference, it's only local to the method. But if you pass by reference, then the values will actually change outside of the method, right? Okay, that was fun. But yeah, so if you wrote a swap function, right? Which would just be a simple, it takes in x and y, and at the end, you know, y and x get swapped. If you don't pass in by reference, they'll get swapped inside the function, but nothing will actually happen in your main code. If you do pass by reference, which is if you see an ampersand in the parameter, I hear giant meatball. Okay. Returning means changing some value? No, often, I mean, you can. Oftentimes with a function, though, you'll set a variable or even update, oh god, update a variable like in your main function, right? Dead Meatballs, thank you for the follow, by the way. And Grayson, welcome back. What's the easiest way to explain it? Pretty much freely soaring over your head. Yeah, so what's a simple example? Like I think that the addition is a simple example of it, right? So you would pass in. Okay, how about this? So you have a method and a function that they take no parameters. They both have the same code except one returns, right, and one doesn't. So if you just had int x equals 4, and that's all that the method was, but the other one was int x equals 4 and then return x. If you were to say in another function, or not another function, in like your main code, if you were to say int my variable equals and then the name of your function, right, that would get set to 4. But you don't do that with a method. That's basically what it is. So, oh geez. A variable gets set to the output of that function, whereas a method just like does something, but you're not setting anything to it. MRC, thank you for the follow as well. I'd have to I could pull up some code. Works within itself. Yeah, like nothing. All the stuff that happens within that method, you're not returning anything. So you might have global variables, right, that are manipulated when you call that, or you might have things that are passed in by reference, which is kind of like making them work like a global variable. It'll actually change it. A function, though, you'll set the output of that to a variable, and then you'll continue to use that elsewhere. Which I hope that makes sense. It's definitely not easy to just like verbally explain it and not show an example of it. Or to even like look at the example you're looking at and just break it down. Kind of get it more. Yeah, it's like that was one of the things that we learned like towards the end of my first semester, and a lot of the stuff my first semester, it was like you say like, you know, throw shit at the wall, see what sticks. It was basically that, and it was very much so sliding off until my next semester when everything that my professor said just like magically cleared it all up.
What makes you think she's a witch? Oh, she turned me into a newt!
Oh, so we just ran past our cosplay character, in case anybody was curious where we came from. It was from that trio back there. But yeah, Moose Cats, thank you for the follow. Seconded, what's up? Seconitis? Is that Seconitis the Third? How are you doing? Crucial part of game code. You can technically you can do without it. Now, that is absolutely terrible coding design and structure, and you'll have so much code duplication and ugly code that I would strongly suggest against it. But yeah, it's very good for, because you have a lot of things that get reused. especially in game code, right? So like you're gonna have a lot of actions, right? You're gonna have an action that's gonna need to happen in multiple different places. Right, like say you had something, right, that was roll, right? You have a roll function or method. For reusing outputs? No, functions and methods in general. Functions and methods in general are for reuse. Because with a function, like, your output's gonna vary unless your function always returns the same thing. Right? Right, like if you had a function for doing simple addition, right? If you were writing a calculator function, like calculator program, right? And you had an add function, a subtract function, like they're not always going to output the same answer. It's going to be dependent upon inputs, right? Which are your parameters. Didn't know his name was Kamui. I didn't either. Actually, yeah. So it's in the description. So there's Blackhand Gothard, which is the guy with the Gothard twin swords. He's the one that's dead at the start of the archives. This is another one of the Blackhand, and the description of his weapon explains that he brought Onakiri with him to the Undead Settlement, where he forged Ubadachi and was finally prepared to join the ranks of the Royal Hunters. So he looked after the prince. The prince is obviously here. That's why he's in the archives. Yeah, some of that stuff is just like in the weapon and item descriptions. Since he's not a directly, he's an enemy you kill as opposed to talk to. Not an NPC, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I wonder if we'll actually hit enough to get a bleed proc, or if we'll just do enough damage. Early? Oh. Okay. There's all sorts of things wrong with that. I rolled that early, and then for whatever reason I thought I could strafe, which you most certainly cannot strafe that attack. Surprised that some of these are still hitting the... I rolled that early because the teleport completely threw me off there. Should have probably healed. Unless anything crazy happens, we should be fine. Oh no. Not enough damage! I love the little jumpy attack, it's so much fun. I don't think we hit it up, like, this doesn't have terrible bleed as a stat on it, but something like the Bandit Knife just hits so much more. I'm just wondering when we go and fight Demon Prince here if it's gonna be worthwhile to bleed or just go lightning. He jumped over DSA? Damn. I guess you could, if you had him at the base of the stairs and you did something like where you sprinted, got to the top of it, and then, you do a sprint weapon art. I'm gonna kill myself, I am. Good job, me. See, that's how you get some distance. Nulinator, what's up? Welcome back. Alrighty then. I should probably look where I'm jumping next time. Your coding is functions are like equations. You use different variables within the function to get different outcome. Yeah, I was trying to think of if there are situations you use non-equations, which would be if you're doing like a function that returns a string or a boolean, but if you're returning any sort of number, it's normally a calculation of sorts that's getting done. Terminates execution of the method, which it appears and returns control to the calling method. Also return an optional value. This is the core of what you don't understand. Okay, yeah, so any point that it gets to return, the function call will end, right? So not only will it return a value, but it will immediately stop executing at that point. So you could have, yeah, so you return to the calling method, right? So if you have your main function, right, and then you have a function within that, as soon as, like, if that inner function is called, at any point that it hits a return, it'll go back to main and continue executing from there. Hey Nix, how are you? So you could have like a really long function, but if you say you don't meet a certain condition, right? Say if you don't want it to be 0, right? If you don't want the value of something to be 0. How about this? You've got a division function, right? And if somebody passes in for the denominator to be 0, you immediately return there. You exit the function. You don't want to continue. Or, you know, and then in the else part of that, you could have a return later. There are things like you could have 10 different return lines if you had a really poorly written function and a bunch of different logic, and if it hit any one of those, it would return that value and it would stop executing the rest of it.
You seek the Holy Grail.
Lil Zay and Katstool, thank you guys for the follows. Does that clarify at all, or does that just make it more confusing? I'm done, this is the output? Pretty much. Pretty much. That would be, yeah, that's a decent way to put it. What do void methods do when they're done? So they run through to completion, but once they hit the end of their code, it goes back to the calling method, but it doesn't return a value. So it executes a bunch of stuff, and then it's done. So a void, like, your method is gonna run through, and then that's it, and then it's gonna go back. It'll return to the calling method, but it won't return a value to be used. Which is why I was saying about the pass by reference. That would be stuff a little bit later. I don't want to confuse you too much with that. I mean, I can send you some examples of like how a method might be used in like the pass by value versus pass by reference. But take care of some stuff for tomorrow. All right, not. Thank you for being here, dude. Hope you have a good one. I will see you later. It's not bad damage. C# reference docs has an example that calculates the area of a circle. Yeah, I mean, documentation is definitely going to be useful. Also, like, if you Google stuff, there will be plenty of Stack Overflow things answering questions that you may have. You know, I code full time and I'm looking stuff up always. Oh, hello. Stuck in a box, what's up? I am soul level 712 on this character. All natural. Oh, did I really not get that? What? I could have sworn I put that on. That's weird. Uh-oh. I hate that attack so much. See, I like getting space on it. It put an extra attack input in, which I did not want at all. Wait, he was already dead and then he got back up to die? Because my last swing didn't do anything to him. Alrighty then. Yeah, that was a bit dramatic. He had some extra acting going on there. He's like, I've died. And then he, like, he had to get up and give a little performance with it. It's like, alright, drama queen. Let's calm down. I know it's lonely down here. You don't get to act for a lot of people, but jeez. Take it down a notch. Relatively short time lurker, but enjoy the content very much. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hope you're doing well. Demon Queen. Drama Prince. Either one works, I think. You don't understand the void? It has the radius value. Int radius equals 5, and double result equals calculate area. And that doesn't return any value. The code is taking the return value from the double function and placing it inside the void. Send me a link. Like either whisper it to me or send it to me on Discord so I can take a look and maybe I can explain what's going on. Because I feel like there's some bit of information that I'm misunderstanding, and I'm sure it'll solve a lot of. I feel like it'll answer a lot of questions. We're making it through this run pretty fast, though. Jeez. 2.5 hours? Two and a half hours, we're done. Base game, DLC 1, and we're already into DLC 2. Hell, I'm gonna have to find another game to play after this. Fast run plus coding lesson. Hey man, when you're thinking about coding, you just end up playing so damn well. We've actually died a few times. Most of it was pretty memey though. But hey Mitch, how you doing? Welcome back. Whispered the link to the reference. All right, I'll take a look at that. Maybe when I take a break between this and whatever we decide to play afterwards. Very tired. I was tired when I woke up this morning. Even though I went to bed early last night. I don't know if it was because I was outside in the heat and then driving 3.5 hours. I feel like that probably contributed to it. Got a hurricane coming your way. Uh-oh. Well, stay safe, man. Stay safe. Is that all the rain that we're supposed to be getting up here later this week? Is it coming from some hurricanes and shit? Because I saw that there's rain, like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like, it's at least those 4 days. Or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, something. Something like that. It's supposed to be hot, though. Today and tomorrow and maybe Thursday. And then it gets a little bit cooler and then it rains and then it gets warmer and continues to rain. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Louisiana. The saga continue? Oh, you bet. The saga's always going, man. How you doing, Will? Welcome back. There's a lot of story to tell. There's a lot of story to tell. Hooray, Max! Is that a fancy new way of saying hooray? Are we excited? Are we excited? What's up, man? What's up? Task on RuneScape? Bet you're tired. I read the DD part first and I was like, Dungeons and Dragons? Drunk driving? Designated driver? And then I saw the RuneScape stuff. Dark Souls Pain Train, choo choo. Coming through. Coming through. Hey, there's an idea. I'm sure somebody's done it, but a RuneScape themed D&D session? Dunescape? Now that would be like... That'd be like dune buggies and a lot of sand. I don't want sand getting everywhere. Like, I like the beach. I like chilling on the beach. But I'm not a huge fan of sand everywhere. Why do I keep getting hit by that? Can I be your dad? Sounds expensive. I'm gonna get killed right here. Wow. That is amazing. Ooh. Run away. Alright, we're somehow still alive after all this. That was bizarre, to say the least. Get wrecked, scrub. I think the weirdest thing is that like 1-2 stab. I don't like it. You're still a growing void? That sounds like even more expensive. So then I gotta continually increase the amount of food I'm buying and then pay to put you through college. It's just a lot. I'm not ready for it. Taking people up for adoption? I'm not. You guys are like my digital children. Yeah. We spend time, quality time together during the week, a few times a week. I tell dad jokes for you all. And then you guys go on with your lives. No, don't call me daddy. That's not okay. Some people like that. I am not one of those people. Cannot say I am one of those people. So I will not respond to people calling me that. Uncle B. That just sounds weird. Uncolby. Yes, that is how to stop being like me. You have to uncolby yourself. Kobe. There's a reason we have a Kobe Bryant tier 2 emote. Greed? Oh no. No greed, no greed. Wow, I am alive. Oh, there's more fire. That's a lot of fire. I swear, it's gonna be like one more hit. No, okay. There it is. If I was over on that hand, I would have gotten it. That was my problem. I was on the other hand. He freaked it all out. He flailed it around just like that. It's like a dead fish. Not a dead fish. Dead fish won't flop. Fish out of water. He's not dead yet, but he's getting there. He's getting there. It's kind of like when you play Marco Polo. You yell fish out of water. That was always the worst. There's people that would get out of the pool and you'd be like, Marco! They're like, Polo! Then you run to the edge of the pool because ass got out of it. Fish and Ori are impervious to fire. Well, you need a lot of freaking heat to penetrate through water and actually burn something that's underwater. Which is why you put explosives in the barrel and then you blow the fish up. Boom, easy. That's how you kill a lot of fish in one go. Fishing tips with Colby. Gotta go to sleep. Alright, Deku. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the luck. Madeir will be, how do I say, easy peasy. Easy peasy. Such a fun fight. Throw them into fire and they just chill there. Oh, it's because they're covered in water. That's clearly why they're impervious to it. I mean, there's no other logical explanation. I was spamming the weapon two-hand, one-hand button when I got through the door. I was like, why is my character not doing anything? That's why, because he's just taking his offhand weapon and putting it away. Which is really magical how it just kind of like comes out of there. He doesn't actually like sheath it, he just kind of puts his arm up and down instead of a proper pull motion. In fact, it goes behind his back. It's quite a magical experience. That's some nice damage. Nope. Nope. Not happening. Such a tight window. You can get it sometimes, but... How? What? Is that attack really that slow? Can I knee you in the face? Yes, I can. Oh, I love it. It actually has like a stagger on him. So unless he backsteps away from it, you just give him a swift knee to the face. Oh right, he has the special like hyper armor with that. Okay, we got a nice audio cancel there. That's good. don't want to die. That would be kind of bad. But it's like, it's funny, stupid little things like that. It's like ways you can learn to not stun lock, but if the boss doesn't have a hyper armor on in a certain attack, like you just stagger them slightly and then get your attack off. Here though, you can't. You can't do it. Because he's got hyper armor during. I bet once my FP runs out, I can't do it anymore. You son of a bitch. I used all my stamina. Ow. Okay, I need distance. That's my problem. Doing it point blank, I seem to get some angle issues. That works. That'll get the job done. I'm actually curious what the FP part of that weapon art does. Or do all weapon arts just consume FP regardless? That's what I'm not so sure of. That's what I'm not so sure of. Because unless you get like some form of iframe on the... I don't know, if you get some form of iframe, sure. Then that would maybe make some sense. But outside of that, I'm not entirely sure. So those are two things that I want to have open for later to look at. Why is it telling me? I hate when I read a whisper and it still likes to... It's like, oh yes, let me take a look at this whisper. And by the way, it's still unread. So that it minimizes that I still have an unread whisper. It's like, okay, that kind of defeats the purpose of this whole thing. I'm definitely going for poison. I guess it makes sense to go for the double hits. I just have to... rolling L1s might still be the best way to go about it. Hey Carrot, how have you been? I'm doing alright. Thank you for asking. Okay. So yeah, the rolling L1 seems to have a faster animation on the two-blade attack. It's obviously going to be slightly less damage, but for applying poison, it's going to be better. So we'll see what I can do, and if I can get multiple L1s, then great. Didn't actually need to roll there. Okay, yeah, that's greed. You just straight up can't hit that many L1s. It's too much recovery. So I have to know my openings. Thank you, roll button, for functioning as intended. Got a new job so you can finally be a real person again. Hey, nice. Good stuff. What are you doing, if you don't mind me asking? And I hope you're enjoying your new job. That's always Always a big thing. Ooh, I think that was a bleed proc on the last one there. And the poison isn't running. I don't think you can, yeah, there's no way you get 3 there, ever. The one attack I need the most work on. That stupid point blank arrow attack phase 2. Phase 3 I am fine with, and most of phase 2 I'm fine with, honestly. It's just that one. Bleed does such a small chunk of health. It's crazy. I actually think this is gonna be a fairly fast fight. Wait, what hit me there? That was kind of weird. Oh wow. Bit of bleed. Thank you, Poison, for contributing to an almost 12,000 damage combo. Combo is it's one way to put it. Make it sound like you did a lot more damage yourself. Oh, I don't think that was the right one. No, I went to the wrong spot. I went to the wrong spot. Yeah, I want the wall. What did we go to the streets? Yeah. Got recruited to be a college advisor for a low-income high school. Not something you expect to do, but you're excited to start. I think that's really an awesome thing though, because you have the opportunity to impact a lot of people, and you know, get them on the right track and in the right direction for, you know, for the things that they want to do with their lives. So I think it's a pretty cool thing. I mean, obviously I guess you don't have to deal with like the guidance counseling side of it, which is nice, because that can be pretty stressful, but yeah, it's definitely a cool opportunity. Such a hell sponge. Well, so between Demon Prince, Gale, and Midir, there's just a whole lot of defense. Like, they have high health, but they're nothing like Lawrence is from Bloodborne, right? But DS3 DLC bosses have decent health pools, and then they have really high defense on top of it, so their health isn't as high as in other situations.
Big six.
Cal, what's up, man? How have you been? How have your streams been? Thank you for 6 freaking months in a row. Greatly appreciated, sir. Grinding DS2, you've been playing a few games, haven't you? You're a man who likes to do a lot of stuff. And I understand that. I'm thinking about playing more games. It's just a matter of what. Still have lightning for this? Yes, I Some of the main game health pools, yeah, some of them are pretty small. Some of them are pretty freaking small, I must say. But I mean, their souls also then kind of... Their souls speak to that, right? Like, Sage doesn't really have a ton. I mean, I think that's the most notable, in my opinion. There's just, like, really optimized ways to get a ton of damage. Which, I mean, you look at the same thing with Bloodborne and Beast Blood pellets and buffs and such. Oh, that's such a commitment to these attack animations. But like if you have Beast Blood and you have... Oh wow. If you have Beast Blood pellets and you have, you know, buffs and you know what you're doing, you can do insane amounts of damage to bosses in Bloodborne. I mean, you can still make some DLC bosses, or even some Mace game bosses, look like it's nothing. Stun locks are a bigger thing in Bloodborne than they are in DS3. There's a lot of bosses that have like that limb stagger mechanic. You can like limb stagger it to death, or head stagger it. You don't really have that. You don't really have that in the Souls games. So that's definitely one difference. Bloodborne did big health pools, but DS3 in particular did like decent sized health pools, but with like scaling defenses. So as your new game cycles go up, you get more defenses on top of it. But Cal, thank you for 6 months in a row, man. I hope you continue to enjoy your face. Too kind, sir. Limb stagger and tail cuts. I miss the tail cuts. The tail cuts were fun. Even if I didn't use this stuff. It was just cool, like a cool concept to be able to even cut off the tail. So like DS2, right? DS2 kept tail cuts, but you didn't get anything from it. Right? Fairly certain that's how that goes. In DS1 you got like Moonlight Greatsword, you got you can cut Calamite, Seath, Sanctuary Guardian, cut all their tails off. You can cut off the Gargoyle's tail, you can cut off Gaping Dragon's tail. Cut off Mytha's tail you can. Cut off Mytha's, I believe you can cut off Sin's. There's a few others, I think. I'm not too familiar with DS2 personally. But like, yeah, it was cool because not only that, but it also then could make certain parts of boss fights easier. Because then, like, say with Sanctuary Guardian, you cut off his tail, he no longer has a poison spin attack, right? Which is really nice. So you can make fights easier for yourself after you cut off the tail. Oh, you could cut off cut off Nika's tail, right? The scorpion. The Scorpioness, you could cut off her tails if you did enough damage to it. I'm being like super aggressive with this. I'm trying to get him to stagger. can't really punish that one. There's the one with the delayed second attack. You can punish this one. Then you can punish the backflip into power within like this. If I attacked again, he could have easily... Alright, well, we got a bleed proc. We could have easily gotten parried if he stayed in that phase. Despite deaths, though, this has been a pretty fast run. Sub 3 hours, which is kind of crazy. Grab. That was super greedy. That was super greedy. There was no reason to go for that. Yeah, I'm gonna heal in front of your fix. So much lightning sound going on between my weapon buff and then the lightning rain right after. Trying to speed run over here? Nah. Nah. Run could definitely be faster if I used like speed runs. Why did it? What the hell? That extra roll was just like some random stored roll. Dark Souls is Pokemon. Yep, anything that we speedrun is Pokemon. It doesn't matter what the game is actually called. It's really just Pokemon.